In today's video, we're going to look at some cool pictures and they have a common theme. Animals. We're also going to concentrate on the sound ah, ah. This vowel is short in the word cat, cat, and long in the word panda, panda. So let's dive right into our first cool picture. Here we have a giraffe. So this is obviously in Africa. It just looks like a giraffe walking through the grass. But there's more to this picture than meets the eye. We have an expression in English, upon closer inspection. This just means if you take a closer look, or when I took a closer look, and it refers to taking a closer look and seeing something that you may not have seen the first time around, seeing something you missed the first time you looked. So in this case, upon closer inspection, we see that there are birds hanging off the giraffe's neck. And upon even closer inspection, we see that it's raining. We see raindrops falling across the animal's body. So obviously the birds are taking cover from the rain under the giraffe, which is pretty cool. This is obviously a very chill giraffe because with one swish of its neck, it could get rid of all those birds. But it just stands there. Who knows, maybe it likes the birds. Maybe the birds take bugs off it or something. We have another expression in English. At first glance. Glance. This refers to the first time you see something. Or when you look at something briefly for the first time but don't really pay attention to the details. Not to be confused with at first sight, as in love at first sight, which is something different. So the cool thing about this picture is that at first glance, it looks like the bull has holes in it. And this is obviously because the spots on the bull are the same color as the grass behind it. This is an example of an optical illusion, where your eye is tricked into believing that it sees something that isn't there. Now these cuties are called meerkats. Meerkats. And like the giraffe, they're African animals. African animals. And more precisely, they live in South Africa. The cute thing about this picture is that it looks like one is strangling the other, and it's screaming. Here we have a picture of a seagull squawking on a cold morning. And the cool thing about this picture is that you can see its breath condensing. In other words, you can see its breath turn to vapor in the cold morning air. And that's pretty badass. Now, this one is obviously computer generated, but it gives us a chance to practice our ah sound because it's a bird with the head of a baboon. Baboon. Now, these next few videos and pictures were taken by yours truly in my garden. As we all know, a butterfly starts its life out as a caterpillar. Caterpillar. I'm sure you've all seen butterflies that look like this. Well, that's a monarch butterfly, and it's one of the most common butterflies in the United States. The caterpillars you see here are monarch caterpillars, and the cool thing about them is that they only eat one thing, milkweed. And that's the plant you see here. But that's not the coolest thing about this picture. When I woke up that morning, the gardener had told me that the milkweed was full of caterpillars. I was so excited. I grabbed my camera, ran outside, stooped down, and started taking pictures. The next thing that happened absolutely freaked me out. As I was taking these pictures, I heard a rustling by my right ear. I looked over and saw this. A huge red wasp holding one of the caterpillars in its legs and eating it. I could hear it chewing. And that glob of green gunk you see is the milkweed oozing out of the caterpillar's body as the wasp eats it. Absolutely brutal. But at the same time, one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
That's crazy.
Moving on to something nicer, these are my pets. The bird is a cockatoo, and his name is Rocco, and the dog is Nina. And this, believe it or not, is a picture of them kissing, which they do all the time. Don't believe me? Watch this video.
That's precious.
That's precious.
So adorable.
And for our last picture, we have Rocco and Nina again, and this time they're sharing a cherry. God, that's like a tongue twister. Sharing a cherry. In fact, their first cherry ever. Well, that's going to do it for today. If you enjoyed this video and enjoy this kind of content, please let me know in the comments and I'll make more of it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.